have relied heavily on forward-facing sonar in the recent years, which made me wonder if I could catch bass without having forward-facing sonar on my boat. I remember fishing offshore for bass with only 2D sonar and marker buoys to even see my first sight image of a brush pile. Now today we have forward-facing sonar, which is one of the biggest topics in bass fishing. This is the second episode of the series challenge of no live scope versus live scope. We're about to go fish without live scope, then fish with to see which one wins. We have 2 hours for each period on a lake without practice. Can I catch a bass without live scope? For this video today, we're at Lowland Reservoir in north central Arkansas. This is a reservoir that I grew up fishing, and it is known for having good offshore fishing and shallow fishing as well. You have a lot of bushes, flooded bushes at shallow cover. Offshore cover, you're going to have rock, you're going to have man-made brush piles, and this lake is very, very healthy. A great place for this challenge. The rules for this challenge is each period is 2 hours. It's a 5 bass limit. The length is 12 inches for it to be considered a keeper. And also, just to throw out there, we have not practiced for this day. We have both not been out there in a while. I've only been on the lake 2 times this year that I can remember, maybe 3, and I've not been on it much in the last 6 years since I just moved back to the Hot Springs area. But I did grow up fishing this lake, so we're excited about this challenge. Get one out of there, that'd be cool. There's not been much on YouTube to watch lately, so the older Milliken stuff comes up and we watch it. It's crazy how like 4 or 5 years ago that dude to where he is now. Oh yeah. Dude's catching 8-pounders at Fork. This is my PB. Now he goes to the lakes and catches 10 in a day. I've never caught a fish on a glide bait without live scope. How cool would that be if we did it right now?
I can tell you after about.
Really? You just been going straight fluoro or braid, or like straight braid? How many times?
Slammed it too.
I'm gonna throw this Carolina rig out here and see if we can make one happen.
My father.
I should sit in the back of the boat, dude, and just throw this.
Well, he hates fishing around a bunch of cover and stuff.
Yeah.
If he's in the back of the boat, because he hates trying to throw around it, and he'll just pick his tail up.
Boom! Carolina rig! Yeah! Carolina rig, guys! No live scope! Take it! Take it! They ain't up there in the bushes! They ain't up there in the bushes! How about that? What a way to start this video off! How about that, Briar? Here, Carolina rig in the house, got this thing all everywhere. How about that, Briar? You just even said it. First, you're like, man, what are you doing? Throwing that thing out there?
Man, the old ball and chain never fails.
The old fluke, the old V&M pork shad. What's up, guys? First fish of the day with my man Briar back in the house. Told Briar I was thinking about coming out and fishing a couple lakes today, and he's like, hey, I can get off work and let's go. So guys, we're actually gonna try this no electronics for 2 hours against electronics. And this is a lake kind of that should help the no electronics. They'll get offshore here. Pretty interesting. I have a lot of history on this lake. He does too. I've been out here once this year and it was a struggle for me. But we'll talk more about the history of this lake later, probably in some other videos or even here. But guys, looking at the deep dive app today, one thing I was gonna say, we're fishing these areas of the lake due to the wind. There's a storm coming through and that storm like died. We don't know how it's going to affect the lake. Like you can even see the dark clouds over there. But looking at the deep dive app, the wind from yesterday through the morning was blowing on these banks, and we're trying to get that's going to hopefully help our shallow bite. The baits we're showing walking top waters, swim jig, I think maybe a frog. Briar's already thrown all that. I started off fishing shallow, and I'll show y'all some clips, but I just didn't get bit, and so I just threw that Carolina rig off this point. What do you think about that, Briar?
That was good stuff. First cast.
First cast with the Carolina rig. And we just went right back on this point. You need to throw it back out there.
First drag.
First drag. Guys, I mean, it was sweet. Without the live scope. No live scope on. Woohoo. Uh-huh. Little guy. Is that a keeper, though? We got to get 5.
I freaking stomped him, though. Yeah.
He's a keeper.
It felt good.
E12.
And I liked it.
That was fun.
Oh, dude. that thing.
No keeper, gonna throw them back? Yeah, okay. Keep throwing my ball and chain out here.
About to go, if you want to stay up here, around, it's like around that point, sticking out the cave.
Yeah, dude. Let's go up here to this point and then move. Cause I didn't really get to fish that point too hard with this. And he wasn't way out there either. He was a little closer. Dragging, dragging.
Russell Hayes mode. Russell.
Come on, Carolina rig. Don't just be a one fish wonder. Stopped, you know, I was mentioning that wind earlier, how we're using the wind effects feature and how we're trying to fish these wind blown areas from like the past couple days. As you see here, here's yesterday at 10 o'clock, and then it kind of churned, you know, and it's weird because the wind keeps changing directions. Right now, Arkansas, the weather can't get figured out right now, which I don't like for the summer. I'd rather just be hot, 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 and hot and just stay consistent, but can't control the weather. So it shows it's going to be blown over here later today, but it was here. But let me go more into this. So I group fished this lake a lot. Learned how to offshore fish on this lake, man. It's a sweet lake. So, but one cool thing about the feature is look at all these inflow points. Now that I have this, I never really knew of all of these inflow points, like some of these little areas. I mean, I kind of knew some of them, but just cool to see how it is and how it works with it. I always knew like back here was a major player. Here's a big one. Now I never did as good up here. I'll tell y'all the truth. When y'all watching them, I'd be like, oh, I love that end. I just never did. This one's more of a major. You got that one there. And I always kind of thought some water was coming in back here, but I guess I was wrong. So pretty cool feature there. Check it out. Lures I've been throwing is this Ozark rig here. This is with the V&M J-Bug, okay? It's in the old Outlaw Magic color. Hey, one thing though I'm going to say, I'm not going to do it here, but I've learned from Matt, because he's fished these a lot more than me, is putting it perpendicular right here through the head, not through the front as you normally put a hook, perpendicular through the head, and it fits on this thing so much better than going through the front of it. So I'm going to start trying that with my worms and these creatures, but
Just flip that in the grass.
yeah. Here, keeper. Here, keeper. Top of the mouth. Top of the mouth. Ozark rigs, look at this. I'll tell y'all the adjustment I made. 5, guys, good one right there. The adjustment I made is I dyed the chartreuse tails. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rig up one of these for you guys right here, since this one just got all beat to shreds by that fish. Here are this J-Bug by V&M, the old Outlaw Magic. Don't throw the lake fork, okay, guys, just don't. But guys, one thing I talked about earlier is how to put this on, and hopefully we do it right real quick. But instead of putting it through the hook point right there, okay, kind of putting it right there, okay, so kind of putting it through, as you see it there, push that thing on, and then it kind of comes up there nicely on it. Now where I have messed up is not putting this up far enough, and this bait's so slippery, as you guys kind of can see right there. So then it's going to fit right there perfect, and there we go. So pretty neat little deal. That's something Matt's, you know, part owner of Core Tackle, him and Johnny. This is Johnny's kind of hook and one of his little things, but Matt's fished with it a lot. I think Matt's caught more fish with it than anybody else I know. Now I'm gonna go get those tails and dye it up. Now guys, when you're putting this stuff on, don't get it in the boat. You can have accents, of course, I mean, but guys, don't get it in your buddy's boat. So what I'm gonna do, make sure my line and everything's up here is good. I'm gonna go over here on the side of the boat.
Step down low enough to hang out with old people.
Ah, I can hear you.
We'll have lunch one day.
Y'all didn't think you love me anymore, you know.
Ever.
Dude, I ain't heard from you in how long.
Man, it's been tough.
I tried calling you a couple times and checking on you.
No, whoa. If you've called me, no, you haven't called me, or if you have, I had no service. I will call back. It just...
No, it's been a while. Because I'm going, hell, he don't want to talk to me. He check on me every now and then, so I just quit calling.
Man, I'm sorry. It's been...
You don't care.
No.
You hit the big time.
No.
And you left all us little folks behind.
No, it's just...
I was going to fish with the fire. You told me to. I'll see how it is.
Your son has one on, but no, that's a good one. That's a good one. Get him in the boat. Get him in the boat. Get him in the boat. There we go. There we go. Boom. No, it's just when I get off the water, I have like 10 calls or so. I try to make what I can, and then I have them 2 kids at the house.
Right.
But it's
it's okay. It's okay. I understand. You ain't gotta make up.
we're gonna have lunch. We'll have lunch on me. Okay, we'll have lunch on me. My man here with a good one. What was the adjustment you made? I mean, I was over here talking. We're talking about your dad on the phone, and I'm over here talking to him, and you tied some stuff up. I mean, what was the adjustment you made?
So, had a bluegill swim jig on. It's the month of June. Bluegill are spawning, and seeing a bunch of shad flicker around the bank, and decided to switch it up a little bit, get something a little bit heavier I could keep down a little bit more, and mimic a shad a little bit, see if maybe that was the ticket. And
That was fast.
first cast.
First cast with the, and I've been flipping around here, throwing my Carolina rig, but it's all brim pattern. I'm about to on a white swim jig. I am too. Yeah, let's do it. Caught 7 fish. We got 40 minutes left in the 2 hours without the scope. And I know on my channel, guys, y'all mentioned going 3, maybe going longer, but we're just gonna go 2. And this is a lake I mean, I'm not familiar with as I used to, but we are, just to kind of see comparison in the fishing styles. And this is a lake we can fish offshore without the electronics, but we just kind of want to make it like this. But Brian, that swim jig, you've caught a few fish with that swim jig. What size rod and throwing, and just your couple little things about swim jig you like to share?
So right now I'm throwing a 7.2 medium heavy with 20-pound Seaguar and VizX. This is not what I typically throw a swim jig on. Like if the water was in those bushes, I'd be throwing it on a 7.4 heavy with probably 30 or 50-pound braid. But you do lose more fish on the hookup like that. And it's just, it seems like a little bit more limber rod. Like this rod, stick 5 makes it. It's got a lot of tip. So you don't lose as many fish. You know, it kind of loads good. And I personally think gives the bait a little bit more action in the water. You're not yanking it as far when you're working it, but it's a good setup. I mean, I like it a lot. So
Sweet, some good stuff right there. Good stuff. We're gonna try to get a couple more fish for y'all guys. Killed the grass about a month ago.
oh, I know.
I didn't know if it's already all gone or not.
I didn't see any hydrilla when I was out there the other day.
Did you see that one? Briar.
Pick that swim jig up.
He freaking missed it.
Gosh, Jimmy,
God.
that's 5 or 6 pounder.
That's a good one.
Oh no, oh no. Gosh, dude, I felt him. How did not have it?
How did not have it?
Massive one.
That was a good one.
I've seen the whole fish.
Dude, I saw the fish too. Gosh, we've had a chance. We've had a chance at a good little bag. Okay guys, we're almost done. There's 10 minutes left right here in this period. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and right now do the encouraging word, motivating word of the week. One of the, and guys, give me some ideas what you wanna call this part of the video. We've just added it to the channel recently. And one of the ones I heard was faith juice. Thought that was pretty cool. That was a cool little segment or title for it. But guys, this one's gonna be patience. It's gonna talk about just being patient, okay? When you're fishing, you know, one thing's about being patient, wait for the bite window, patient when you're fishing cover. Sometimes there's the same, not fishing too fast, and just being patient when you're out here enjoying the outdoors. But guys, that also goes into life. One thing right now with me that is pushing my buttons of patience is my 2-year-old, Mr. James, who y'all seen on the channel. Something's happened in the last 2 weeks, and he is just wants to push the buttons, and he is just all of a sudden, you know, as we are, we're just not, you know, we're not angels, and he has not been one lately. You guys watching have kids, you know it happens, and he just, he's pushing the buttons. So my patience is beginning thin. But one thing I do every morning when I pray, and when we pray at the dinner table, when we pray, like I said, we pray, I ask for patience. And I've always been a patient person as I've gotten older. You kind of acquire it with age. Oh, but it's getting pushed right now. So guys, patience is key, and it can be in your life, it can be in your scenario, whatever situation it is, be patient, okay? Briar, what do you think? What do you think about this frog bite?
I think they're being weird, and we should have a dang bag right now.
We should have a bag. We should have a bag. Guys, this period's about to be over. Video. Guys, here we go. We just got done with the no electronics, no live scope, no anything, period. Now about to get out here. It's on the main lake point where there's a little ledge. Everybody fishes it. Everybody has. It kind of got exposed a few years ago. But I mean, this is a small lake. Everybody knows everything about this lake, by the way, except there's one or two dudes that know every little nook and cranny. But it kind of goes back to how you fish them. And me, he hasn't been out here a while. I've not been out here but once this year. And I've never fished this lake with live scope. Like, I've done one forward-facing trip, made all out here in the winter, but never this time of year. So I'm excited about it. And drops through down. That's 2 hours. 2 hours. So it makes it tougher. Makes it tougher. These do suspended or bass. Where's your thing? Yeah, it's on the right. Yeah.
Big one?
It's one though. That didn't take long. He's a keeper. The old jig head minnow, guys. It took me like 2 casts to catch one with the old jig head minnow out here. Suspended off the point, guys. I just got to get used to your live scope. They're all so different, guys. So on my forward-facing sonar lesson trips, guys, I realize these units are all so different. And like that fish, to me, look like a 4 to 5 pound fish, but look what it is. It's just like 1 under 2. It's a skinny post spawner. But when it was coming up, I was like, that's a big. So I just kind of got to get used to some of these guys. Not a bad way to start. Number 1, that didn't take but 2 minutes. Like, and then the thing is, they don't see it. Draft, or that spunk shad. Couldn't get to work. It was cool though, cool idea. Go get it, buddy. Here they are, they're on it, come on. Little guy. Gosh, that was a smaller one in that group that ate it. There were some better ones like with it. Number 2, that didn't take long either. Oh, it's fun, guys, fishing this place that you've never have fished before. Now, this is a small one. There's some better ones there. Sometimes, as we've learned, the better ones don't always eat it. First, you know, there's always a thing that the big ones get it first, but that's not always the case. Don't get this hook in my mouth. Just to find some big ones so I can kind of get a better kind of idea how the big ones look. But see, the better ones there, Briar, were high in the water column. They came down for this. Like, they saw it and came down. The smaller ones were on the bottom, and the better ones I didn't see originally. Like, I saw the smaller ones down there. There's like a little group of them, and those big ones came down. I'm saying they might have been them glide bait fish. Oh, buddy, what are y'all doing? Oh God! How did look at this? This thing is as big as the spoon. We've caught 3 though. We've caught 3 real quick. Where are the bigs? Where are the bigs? Dude, those fish were just right there. Not a bad start, guys. Right here, 3 fish really fast. 3 fishes. My man was just tying stuff on. Now he's out here looking. Not really seeing any big fish out here. That's one thing with it. We're gonna try to go find some bigs, and this is a 2-hour period. One thing you can utilize with that is actually seeing them and looking. We're just out here, guys, off main point ledge. There's bait here, there's fish. Just gotta find bigger. I gotta find bigger ones. Okay, variety of lures on. Y'all have already seen. Spoon coming action, jig head minnow. Got a couple things there. Got the glide bait, the old hair jig over there. Jig head worm, all this fun stuff. There you go. A couple offshore things. But guys, there we go. Leave me the comment what you think about the video so far, or what we should be doing, what Briar should be doing. How about his little swim trunks? American flag. And that thermocline's like perfect on it, like how it's set up. So let's see if any bass wants to come out of there. What you got?
Got a worm tied on.
Heck yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
Gagged it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Get him in the bow. There we go. Number 4. Big old worm. I'm up here throwing this around. That's what you do, guys. You got one of your guys up here looking and throwing. And then one, there's fish all in this thing. I saw a couple good ones up here too. Right when you set the hook, I kind of got off. I just love to throw a worm in there. I need to get my worm out and ready. Have this thing a little bit. The old bottle trick. Dude, he ain't just... Okay, guys, that is it for the challenge. I'm done. We're gonna now have the talk. Let's have the talking segment. The LiveScope period did not win. The electronics guys didn't win. And so right now in the challenge series, it's 1-1. Now, after the challenge, we did go back out, and we stayed out there, okay? And we tried to find some fish offshore and catch them, and guys, we couldn't get it done. We just couldn't get it done. And I think this lake how it sets up, guys, is they can move out, go back up, move out, go back up. And when the weather that we had a couple days prior kind of had them in that between mode, because it just hadn't been hot enough yet. And I know fish have been caught offshore there already. I mean, it happens. Like, I mean, there's a tournament the weekend before, and I mean, there's some big bags. They probably were caught offshore, but leading up to it was 3 days of sun. Could have moved them out there. And as you saw, our cloudy conditions, and we had the rain the day before, might have moved those dudes right back up there. Guys, we didn't even, so the non-LiveScope period, we caught 8 fish. Okay, we caught them on the jig head minnow, the spoon. Briar caught some on the worm. We just didn't weigh them. Briar was like, we're about to go catch bigs, and we just didn't. So there's that to it. So I hope you guys like this challenge. Let me know in the comments you're still watching, your thoughts on the challenge. I know I've heard about longer periods, and we might do that, but guys, sometimes it's just hard with me on the editing and just everything. But we might do a little longer period, maybe 2.5 hours. Okay, might be fair enough. All right, but guys, let me know what you think about it. Thank you guys for watching once again, and hey, we'll see you guys on the next one.